7 nations, 7 rifles. Here we re-ranking the most popular rifles. The ranking criteria? 3 things that actually matter on a battlefield. Reliability, combat effectiveness, real-world performance. Not specs on paper, not what governments claim, what soldiers actually experience. Not the bullshit that internet spreads. Let's start at the bottom. Number 7. United Kingdom SA80A2/L85A2. Britain's most controversial rifle. The British Army, one of the most disciplined, battle-hardened fighting forces in human history. And somehow, they chose this, the SA80, the rifle that British soldiers genuinely begged their commanders to replace. Let's be clear about something. The original SA80, introduced in 1985, was an absolute disaster. Soldiers in the Gulf War reported it jamming in sandy conditions. It failed in the cold. It failed in the wet. It failed in dust. Basically, it failed in every environment a soldier might actually find themselves in. So what did the British Ministry of Defense do? They spent over £400 million fixing it and handed the job to a German company. Heckler & Koch, yes, a German arms manufacturer, had to come in and redesign the British Army's main service rifle. The result was the L85A2. Better, much better. And then they released the A3 variant in 2016 with even more improvements. Modern British soldiers will tell you the current version is a capable weapon, accurate at distance, good ergonomics for a bullpup, controllable and fully automatic. But here's the uncomfortable truth the British military doesn't like admitting. The SA80 platform is still heavier than most competitors. It's still left-handed unfriendly. You literally cannot fire it left-handed without burning your face on the ejection port. And the reputation? Once a rifle becomes a joke in military circles, that reputation sticks. Soldiers talk, veterans talk. The SA80's legacy is permanently tainted. Great armies deserve great rifles, and for decades, the British Army did not have one. If it takes a German company to fix your British rifle, maybe that tells you everything. Number 6. China. QBZ-95/Type 95, the world's most mysterious rifle. China fields the largest standing army on Earth, over 2 million active soldiers, and for decades, they handed all of them this rifle. The QBZ-95, called the Type 95 in the West, a bullpup design that looks somewhere between futuristic and deeply confused. Now, before Chinese military fans hit the comments, let's acknowledge what this rifle does right. It's compact, it's lightweight for a bullpup. It feeds a uniquely Chinese 5.8 by 42 mm cartridge that Beijing claims outperforms the NATO 5.56 mm round. Claim. Let's examine that word carefully. Here's the problem with the QBZ-95. Almost everything we know about its real performance comes from China. There's almost no independent battlefield data. Unlike the AK, the M4, the HK-416, rifles that have been battle-tested in dozens of real conflicts, the QBZ-95 has seen very limited actual combat exposure. What we do know from soldiers and military analysts who've handled it, the trigger is rough, the ergonomics are awkward for Western-trained hands, and the 5.8 mm ammo is essentially proprietary. You can't scavenge it on a battlefield outside Chinese military zones. And that's the QBZ-95's core strategic weakness. It only functions inside China's own supply chain. China knows this. That's why they've already begun replacing it with the newer QBZ-191, a more conventional layout, better ergonomics, and a design that finally looks like China is listening to what actual soldiers want. But until that replacement is complete, the QBZ-95 remains the rifle of a military superpower that shows mystery over proven performance. When your own country starts replacing your rifle, the ranking speaks for itself. Number 5. Russia. AK-74M, the legendary platform that the world outgrew. You were waiting for this one. And before you reach for the comments section, hear me out. The AK, the most recognizable weapon in human history. Somewhere between 75 and 100 million AK pattern rifles exist on this planet. It toppled governments. It defined insurgencies. It appears on a national flag. The AK isn't just a rifle, it's a symbol. And symbols are dangerous things to rank objectively. Here's the myth. The AK is the most reliable rifle ever made. Here's the reality. It was in 1947. The AK-74M, Russia's current standard service rifle, is a refined evolution of Mikhail Kalashnikov's original design. Chambered in 5.45 by 39 millimeters, a smaller, faster round than the original 7.62 by 39 millimeters. And yes, in terms of raw mechanical reliability, the AK platform is still extraordinary. Drop it in mud, fill it with sand, leave it submerged. It will fire. But here's what the AK-74M doesn't do well in 2024. Accuracy at distance. Modern warfare has shifted. Engagements now happen at 300, 400, 500 meters. The AK-74M's long-stroke piston, the source of its famous reliability, also produces more felt recoil impulse, making it harder to stay on target during rapid fire. Russia's own special forces largely abandoned it. The Spetsnaz moved to the AK-12 and the AK-15. That tells you everything. The regular Russian army still carries the AK-74M in huge numbers. And in Ukraine right now, we're getting real-world data on how it performs against modern opponents. The results? Complicated. The rifle is fine, but fine doesn't win wars anymore. The legend of the AK is real, but legends don't win modern gunfights. Precision does. The world's most famous rifle, ranked 5. Stay angry. Keep watching. Number 4, Ukraine, Malyuk, Vulcan M, the wild card nobody expected. Nobody put Ukraine on this list 5 years ago. Now they might be fielding the most combat-proven rifle in active service on Earth, the Malyuk, Ukrainian for baby, also called the Vulcan M by its manufacturer Interprobe. This is a Ukrainian-designed, Ukrainian-built bullpup conversion of the AK-74 platform. And that's actually genius, because it takes the one thing the AK does perfectly, reliability, and wraps it inside a modernized, compact, ambidextrous chassis. Imagine taking the engine from a legendary tank and dropping it into a Formula One body. That's essentially the Malyuk. The Malyuk is ambidextrous, left or right-handed, no modifications needed. The bullpup design makes it significantly shorter than a standard AK while keeping the same barrel length, meaning no velocity loss. It has Picatinny rails for modern optics, suppressors, and tactical attachments. The charging handle is forward, keeping your firing hand in place. Reload is faster. The sight radius is better. And then Ukraine went to war. There is no better testing environment for a rifle than an active, brutal, technologically sophisticated ground war, and the Malyuk has been in one since 2022. Reports from Ukrainian soldiers are largely positive. It handles urban combat exceptionally. It's manageable in vehicle operations. Suppressed versions are reportedly highly effective for special operations. The weakness? It's not yet standardized across the full Ukrainian military. Supply chains are stressed, and it remains relatively unknown to the global arms market. But here's the thing. In terms of pure battlefield innovation born from necessity, Ukraine just built one of the most interesting rifles in the world. The underdog rifle from the underdog nation in the world's most watched war. Remember the name, Malyuk. Number 3. Israel. The IWI Tavor TAR-21 TAR-X95. Engineered by survival. Israel doesn't build rifles. Israel builds solutions to problems that exist when your enemies want to eliminate you from the map. The Tavor, designed specifically for the Israeli Defense Forces after they analyzed decades of close-quarters combat in Gaza, the West Bank, and urban environments where a conventional rifle-length weapon becomes a liability. The Tavor TAR-21 entered service in 2006. The improved X95 version followed. Both are bullpup designs, but where the SA-80 got bullpup wrong, the Tavor got it spectacularly right. Here's the IDF's cold calculation. In a real urban battle, the rifle that wins is the one you can actually control in a stairwell, a vehicle, and a hallway without losing accuracy. The IWI X95 is 18.1 inches long with a 13-inch barrel. Compare that to an M4 with a 14.5-inch barrel stretching 33 inches total. Same firepower, dramatically smaller package. Reliability? The Tavor has been through the sand of the Negev, the dust of Gaza, and humid coastal environments. It performs. Israeli soldiers report extremely high trust in the platform. The trigger, historically the bullpup's Achilles heel, was redesigned in the X95 and is widely considered among the best bullpup triggers available. And then there's this. The Tavor isn't just Israeli military equipment, it's exported globally. Special forces from India to Colombia use it. Commercial versions sell out worldwide. When other countries buy your rifle for their special operators, you've done something right. The Tavor's weaknesses? It's more expensive to produce than AK-pattern rifles. Cleaning requires more steps, and in open terrain engagements beyond 400 meters, the compact barrel slightly sacrifices velocity. But, as a total combat system designed for real, modern warfare, the Tavor is a masterclass in designing a weapon around how soldiers actually fight. Engineered in blood, tested in war, trusted globally. Rank 3, and it almost took the top spot. Number 2, Germany. HK416/X95, the rifle that killed bin Laden. On May 2, 2011, in Abbottabad, Pakistan, a U.S. Navy SEAL fired the shot that ended the most hunted man in the world. The weapon in his hands was not American. It was the HK416, built by Heckler & Co., German precision, and the world's special forces noticed immediately. The HK416 is essentially an evolution of the M16/M4 platform, but with a critical mechanical change. It replaced the direct impingement gas system with a short-stroke piston system. Why does that matter? Because direct impingement, the system used in standard M4s, vents hot, carbon-laden gas directly into the receiver. It's reliable, but it gets dirty fast. The HK416's piston keeps that gas out of the action entirely. The result? A rifle that runs cleaner, runs cooler, and stays reliable even during sustained high-volume fire when most rifles are choking on their own fouling. Delta Force adopted it. SEAL Team 6 carries it. Norway made it their standard service rifle for the entire military. France replaced their FAMAS with it. Germany's KSK Special Forces swear by it. When some of the most elite units in the world independently arrive at the same weapon, that's not marketing, that's evidence. And here's what makes the HK416 genuinely elite. It doesn't sacrifice accuracy for reliability. Most ultra-reliable rifles, like the AK, accept some accuracy loss as the price of that toughness. The HK416 refuses to make that trade. Sub-MOA accuracy with quality ammunition, excellent ergonomics, NATO-compatible 5.56mm, fully ambidextrous controls on newer variants, a modular platform that accepts virtually any accessory on the market. The price? Eye-wateringly expensive. 3 to 4 times the cost of an M4, which is why it remains a special forces weapon in most militaries rather than a standard Hishu rifle. But when you ask operators, the people who use rifles for their most dangerous profession, a disproportionate number of them choose the HK416 when given a choice. The Germans made a rifle so good that American special forces chose it over American weapons. Let that sit. Number 1, United States, M4A1 Carbine, the standard that defined modern warfare. The most controversial choice on this list, the most debated rifle in the world, and still undeniably the best. The M4A1 Carbine, the primary service rifle of the United States military. And before you say American bias, let's look at the facts, not the feelings. The M4A1 is chambered in 5.56 by 45mm NATO. It has a 14.5-inch barrel. It weighs just under 7 pounds loaded. It's fully automatic capable, and it has been deployed continuously in combat for over 30 years. 30 years of continuous combat deployment. Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Africa, the Pacific. Every climate, every terrain, every threat level. That is a dataset no other rifle on this list can match. Yes, critics will say the original M16 had problems in Vietnam. True. The M4 had early sand-related issues in Iraq. Also true. But here's what separates serious analysis from online arguments. Systems evolve. The M4A1 in 2024 is not the M4 of 2004. Improved both carrier groups, improved chrome-lined barrels. The SOP MD Block 2 package gives it a suppressor, advanced optics, IR lasers, and a grenade launcher all on one platform. It is, at this point, a modular weapons ecosystem rather than just a rifle. But the real argument for the M4A1's #1 position isn't technical, it's systemic. Every NATO ally trains on it or trains alongside soldiers who use it. Ammunition is available on virtually every military logistics network on Earth. Spare parts, accessories, optics, and modifications are the most available of any rifle platform in history. When you're in a coalition operation and your rifle goes down, the M4 platform can be fixed, fed, and supported by dozens of partner nations. Try that with a QBZ-95. Try that with a Malyuk. The M4A1 isn't just a rifle, it's the lingua franca of modern military small arms, and that interoperability might be its greatest tactical advantage. Does the HK416 outperform it mechanically? Arguably, in certain conditions. Does the Tavor outperform it in CQB? Possibly. Does the AK-74M outlast it in filth? Maybe. But no single rifle combines global logistical integration, proven combat performance across multiple decades, continuous development, special forces adoption, and sheer volume of real-world data better than the M4A1. The United States didn't just build a rifle, they built a standard, and the rest of the world has spent 30 years trying to beat it. The M4A1 is ranked #1, not because it's perfect, because nothing else is more proven. If you liked this video, I'm sure you'll like this one too. Subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Our channel is small, so we are replying every comment below. Comment any other aircraft which you think we missed, or any suggestion for future videos. Thanks for watching.